Welcome back, weirdos. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing awesome. Thanks for asking. If you're new here, hi, I'm Marlakris. I do nail nonsense twice a week, every week. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. So I've got a menagerie of stuff here from Zebra Dips. This whole video is sponsored, by the way, by Zebra. Thank you so much. I want to go through a bunch of products. I've never tried her stuff before. So you're going to get my first impression and my review of Zebra glitter and nails. So she sent over her gel base and gel top because, as you know, I'm in a gel type mood as of late. And for color, she did let me choose colors. I was in a golden kind of mood. Valentine's Day makes me all sorts of bougie feeling, like I want to wear all the jewelry and have my nails blinged out a little bit. So we're gonna get fancy with some gold toned colors. If you are curious about Zebra, if you've heard of them, never heard of them, want to check them out, I will leave all her info down in the description box, along with all of the colors that she sent over. Here are the 4 swatched out for you. Milk Mustache is a milky white. Then we've got Classy, which is a white with gold foil fleekies. Absolutely beautiful. Then we've got Champagne Surprise, which is a glitter-packed champagne gold dip. And last but certainly not least, we've got Nude Beach, which is a semi-sheer, very neutral color with a beautiful subtle shimmer running throughout. Probably my favorite color out of the 4. So here are the 4 swatched out together. Let's get them on the nails. So let's dive into her gel base. Her gels are HEMA free, by the way, A++ from me. They are on the thicker side. And I did ask her about it because I was like, I don't know if it's cold. As I'm doing this voiceover, we are in the frozen tundra down here in Florida. I woke up this morning to the house being 67 degrees inside and the outside a frigid 38 degrees. I know that may not be cold to some of you. To me, it's the absolute frozen tundra. I'm not built for this weather down here. Anyway, I wasn't sure if it was just the coldness making this gel the viscosity that it is, but I did speak to her. She said, yes, they are a little bit on the thicker side, which I absolutely love, and I'll tell you why. I find especially if you like using gel liquids, but more so, I guess that's not especially then, more so if you are a beginner to gel liquids and you really want to get your feet wet a little bit with gels, these are very beginner friendly. You only need to apply the smallest amount and it's not as likely to run or bleed into your cuticles, flood, into your cuticle area or your sidewalls because it's got that thicker viscosity. It cures perfectly. I didn't change anything that I normally do. I poured over the dip powder, cured for 60 seconds in my LED UV, and it cured beautifully. I was able to dust off excess with my stiff scrubby brush like I usually do, and I had 0 issues. This gel, absolutely great. I really look forward to using it again. Powders. This milky white is exactly what it claims to be. It is a beautiful white. As you can see, it is not patchy, it is not grainy, it is not weirdly textured. It's a beautiful white, and it is on the milky side. If you're a milk bath person, that might be a good white for you. Diving into Nude Beach, I'm gonna stick this on my pinky and on my thumb. I had no real game plan here. Per usual, I never know what I'm doing until I open everything up and I see it in front of my face. And then I kind of just wing it and figure it out, but it worked out really well. So this is going on pinky and thumb. Again, 0 issues. I love that you can still see your visible nail line through this one. I love the sheer. I think Nude Beach is like the perfect name for it. And the shimmer is beautiful, elegant, just the right amount of shim in the shimmer. Do I know what? It's a day. I'm cold. The cold is affecting the brain. Ignore me a little bit today. Give me a little grace. Anyway, I'm doing 2 dips of each color on each nail. That is my norm. That is my MO. I didn't want to change anything because this is a legitimate review. I want to make sure I'm giving this a fair shot. So 2 dips of each color on each nail, and I had 0 issues. I really don't have any complaints. The only complaint that I did bring up to the owner, Bridget of Zebra Nails, was a top coat. But we'll get into that a little bit later, and it's a super easy fix. Not sure how it happened, but again, we'll get into that later. As of now, I'm going in with my second coat of Nude Beach on the pinky and on the thumb. So now I'm diving into this absolutely sparkly, stunning glitter champagne surprise. I'm not sure what the surprise is exactly. Is it the jam-packedness of the glitter? Maybe, because I did a pour over. Now, typically with glitters, I do a pour over as my first coat, whether it's gel or dip liquids, because I don't want it to become too bulky, as glitter can tend to do. But wait till you see the opacity of the glitter on the first pour over. It is insane. And just for clarification purposes, I am curing each coat before I move on to the next one. I cure for a full 60 seconds. Cure time can vary depending on the opacity and the color of the dip header you're using over the gel. Darker colors do tend to need some extra time. Dark colors I usually go for 2 to 3 minutes, but colors like the ones I'm using in this mani, 1 minute was completely adequate for all of the colors. So as you can see, this glitter did not disappoint, and wait till you see it in 2 coats. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get the second coat on, and then we're gonna move on to the foils. So now we're going to get into this foil dip. Classy is just that. Now, I've had a lot of questions in the recent past about applying foil dips. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, and I'm going to tell you a couple of tips and tricks that I've learned with dealing with foils. And there are some other ways to do it. There's no real set in stone way you're supposed to do this. It's really a matter of how you like it. So I'm applying my base the same exact way I would, and I'm going to pour over, just like I would with any dip over gel, specifically any glitter dip. If I were using dip liquids, this is how I would do it too. I would pour over. As you can see, I only got a couple of little foils, which is fine because we're doing a second coat anyway, right? So I'm going to clean up my cuticles and my sidewall area. You may have also seen me gently press those foils down before you cure. And even if you're using dip liquids before that base sets, you want to make sure that your foils are not sticking up. That's going to make filing a huge pain in the ass. So you just want to very gently, if you don't have to be as gentle over dip liquids because they set, they air dry, but over gel, super gentle touch just to press them down. And because that gel base doesn't dry in air, it has to cure. It's super easy to get those foils to lay down nice and flat. Again, that's going to help you with filing later. It's going to help keep that nail nice and smooth. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give this a 1 minute cure, and then we're going to do round 2, which is going to be a lay in, and wait till you see all the foily goodness. Okay, so here we are, round 2. Wait for the foil. Look at this madness. I know it looks insane, but it's going to take very little effort to get this smoothed down, cleaned up. Again, foils are so delicate. It is so easy just to break them off where they're maybe hanging over the edge or over the side. I'm using my orange wood stick, which is super gentle. You're not going to hurt anything. If it's too much foil, pick them off. It's completely okay. If you find that you're laying in and you're not picking up enough foil, and that will depend and vary based on whatever foil dip you're using. This one happens to be very concentrated, but if you want more foil placement, you can always hand place some little foils. Either you can do that with dip liquids or with gel liquids. Just apply a little bit of your base and go ahead and place some of your foils down. Getting that all patted down nice and smooth, I'm going to go in and make sure that base is completely covered with powder. I don't want to see any wet spots. Then I'm going to go ahead and cure, and then we're going to encapsulate. I lied. Before encapsulation, I decided I wanted to add a little bit of glitter to that one milky white nail. So I'm just taking some of that gel base on a liner brush. I'm going to make a little swoopy swoop on an accent nail, and then I'm going to lay into that gorgeous gold glitter and just make a little bit of an accent nail. I felt bad leaving that one nail being the only nail with like no fun. You know, Nude Beach has the shimmer, the glitter is the glitter, the foil is the foil. The milky white nail needed a little something, and that's literally all I'm doing. You can do this with your dip base. I would not recommend using a liner brush because you're going to ruin it, but if you can manage a very thin line or any kind of nail art that you really feel like doing with your dip base brush and then lay into your glitter, you can get a very, very similar look. So I'm going to go ahead and lay into the glitter, and then I'm going to cure for a full minute, and then we're going to encapsulate. So this is how I encapsulate my nails no matter what liquids I'm using. I do not use clear dip powder. If that's your thing, go for it. Don't use gel liquids with clear dip powder. You will regret that decision. But I am not going to do that because I like the way my nails look. So I'm just going to take my gel base coat and apply one coat to every single nail. I'm going to flip my hand upside down to get that nice and level, and that'll create an ultra smooth surface for me to file and buff over. And then I'm going to file and buff. There is a tacky layer after you cure gel base. I've had so many questions from people that are new to gel liquids going, my gel liquid's not drying, it's still sticky after I cure it. Yes, it's going to be. It's 100% normal. It's a tacky layer that has to be cleansed, but it's meant to hold on to your gel top coat. That's why it's tacky. It keeps your gel top coat from wanting to peel off because gel top coat really needs a tacky surface to adhere to. So all I'm going to do is get this on the nails, cure for 30 seconds, remove that tacky layer with some alcohol and a lint-free wipe, and then I'm going to go file and buff off camera. I will leave my filing and buffing routine down in the box in case you want to check that out. But when I come back, we're going to top coat. So I got all my filing, shaping, and buffing done, and now we're gonna get into top coat. And this is the only complaint I had about these products. I was so sad. We were so good. So if you can see, the top coat brush is super wonky and weird. And I'm bringing this up for a reason. And this is going to be a little mini story time as I'm top coating my nails. I reached out to Bridget, the owner of Zebra Nails, and I let her know, and I sent pictures. I'm like, my top coat brush is weird. I'm like, I made it work. Everything is fine. And I love the liquids, but this brush, I wanted to yeet it out the window. And her response to that is what I was looking for. I was paying attention to what she would say. And you know what she said? She said, I am so sorry. I'm going to send a replacement ASAP. And I realized that's what she probably should be doing as an owner. But you'd be surprised of the responses that I have gotten from company owners that refuse to take accountability for their product issues. And I don't have complaints very often. I really don't. A lot of the products that I use are good products, and I love that. But I've had a few issues with other companies where there's something wrong, something's going on, something's not quite right. And when I bring those concerns to the company in a very professional and caring way, because I genuinely want to see companies succeed. But when I bring issues to a company like that, occasionally I'll get someone who's like, it must be your fault. It must be someone else's fault. I didn't create that. I didn't mess up. And that is really disheartening because as an owner of a company, you'd think you'd want the constructive criticism so you don't have issues with other people, right? Maybe it's a me thing. I don't know. But I was really impressed with the way she handled that. Very impressed, and thank you. Thank you for replying the way I was so hoping you would, because that gives us as creators anxiety to have to go back to a company and say, nobody wants to do that. But I so wholeheartedly appreciated her response to that issue. And the gel top coat is great. As you can see, it's super glossy. Thanks so much to Bridget for sponsoring this video and for sending over all these products. My final thoughts based on my first impression and review. I really enjoyed using all these products. I'm excited to try the top coat again with a better brush. I would highly recommend them if you're trying to support another small business. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will catch you in the next one. Love you. Bye.